Welcome to my YouTube channel, Dark Facts. Why do we love to be scared? As the camera sweeps over an eerily silent mansion, shrouded in darkness, or pans across an abandoned building, we wonder what draws us to the edge of our seats, hearts pounding. Perhaps a walk through a ghostly graveyard under the pale moonlight, or a lonely road that winds through an ominous forest stirs something within us. Today we're going to unravel this perplexing paradox. Horror movies, from the classic tales of Dracula and Frankenstein to the modern-day nightmares of A Quiet Place and Get Out, have been a staple of our cinematic diets, captivating, terrifying, and thrilling us. But why do we keep coming back for more? To answer this, we delve into the psychology of fear, exploring three key concepts: catharsis, adrenaline rush, and the safe exploration of fear. As we walk through the haunted mansion, come to terms with the adrenaline rush while standing in the deserted building, or venture down the lonely road, we'll understand our fascination with the macabre. These elements combined form the backbone of our attraction to horror movies, allowing us to experience fear in a controlled, safe, and ultimately enjoyable way. Now, prepare to deeper into the psyche as we unearth the reasons we seek out these frightful experiences. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned for more dark facts. Firstly, we have catharsis, a concept dating back to the Greeks, referring to the release of pent-up emotions. Catharsis, a potent, age-old term that carries with it an inherent sense of release. It's a form of emotional purging, a way to let go of feelings that have been building up inside us. And, interestingly enough, it's also a concept deeply embedded in the psychology of why we have such a fascination with horror movies. Now, you might find it odd. Why would anyone seek out something designed to provoke fear and anxiety for the sake of emotional release? But it's not as counterintuitive as it seems. You see, horror movies provide an outlet for us, a controlled environment where we can face our deepest fears, channel our anxieties, and let our emotions run wild, all without any real-world repercussions. Think about it. Sitting on the edge of your seat, heart pounding, eyes wide open as the suspense builds up. The monster is lurking around the corner, the eerie music is climbing, and then the scare. That moment of terror, however fleeting, allows for an intense emotional release. It's a cathartic moment, an emotional drainage of sorts. The beauty of this cathartic experience lies in its duality. It's both a confrontation and a release. We confront our fears head-on, yet in a safe, controlled way. We let ourselves feel the terror, but we also know that it's confined to the screen. This confrontation can be freeing, liberating even, as we get to face our fears without having to deal with real-world consequences. Moreover, this emotional release can be quite therapeutic. It's a way for us to cope with our anxieties, to deal with our fears, and to explore the darker corners of our psyche, all within the confines of a 2-hour movie. So, while the screams and jumps might be scary, they're also a form of emotional release. They're our way of letting go, of draining the pent-up emotions within us. And that, in a nutshell, is the cathartic appeal of horror movies. In essence, horror movies can be a form of emotional drainage, allowing us to confront our fears without real-world consequences. Next up is the adrenaline rush, that exhilarating feeling of being on a roller coaster ride. Imagine this. You're strapped into a theme park ride, and as it begins to ascend, your heart starts pounding, your palms start sweating, and you can feel the anticipation building. It's a similar sensation when you're watching a horror movie, isn't it? Now let's delve into the science behind it. When we're scared, our bodies respond by releasing adrenaline, also known as the fight or flight hormone. It's a chemical that prepares our body to either confront the danger or escape it. But here's the kicker. In the context of a horror movie, there's no real threat. It's just you, safe and sound, sitting in a cozy chair with a bowl of popcorn. So, why do we experience an adrenaline rush when watching a horror movie? It's because our brain doesn't really distinguish between real and perceived danger. It simply reacts to the signals it receives. When we watch a scary scene, our brain perceives it as a threat and reacts accordingly, activating an adrenaline rush. This adrenaline rush is part of the thrill that some viewers seek out. It's a strange paradox, isn't it? We, as humans, consciously choose to watch something that we know will scare us. But that's the appeal. The adrenaline rush provides a sense of exhilaration, excitement, and even pleasure. Think of it as a roller coaster ride. The thrill of the chase, the suspense of the unknown, the heart-pounding moments of fear. All of these contribute to an adrenaline rush that can be intensely satisfying. So, the next time you're watching a horror movie and you feel that familiar rush of adrenaline, remember, It's not just about the fear. It's about the thrill, the excitement, and the sheer joy of being scared. It's about stepping into the unknown, embracing the fear, and coming out on the other side with a sense of accomplishment. So, while we may be scared, our bodies are having the time of their lives. Lastly, we have the safe exploration of fear, the ability to face our nightmares in a controlled environment. Horror movies, with their eerie soundtracks and spine-chilling plots, create a unique platform for us to delve into the abyss of our fears. This is not just about the thrill or the adrenaline rush. It's about exploring what scares us, understanding it, and thereby managing it. Imagine being in a dark room. You know there's a monster lurking somewhere in the shadows, but instead of running away, you stay, you watch, you confront it. And why wouldn't you? You're in the safety of your own home, or a movie theater surrounded by people secure in the knowledge that the monster cannot harm you. It's a simulation, an imitation of fear, not the real thing. And that's where the beauty of horror movies lies. They allow us to confront our fears without any actual danger. It's a controlled environment where we can face the things that scare us the most. Whether it's the fear of the unknown, fear of death, or perhaps fear of our own darkest thoughts, horror movies provide us an outlet to explore these fears. The exploration of fear is not just about getting scared. It's a process of understanding and managing these fears. It's about realizing that these fears, however terrifying, are just a part of our imagination. Horror movies, in a way, teach us about fear. They show us that the things we fear the most often exist only in our minds, and once we understand this, we're better equipped to face these fears in real life. It's a form of therapy, if you will, a way to desensitize ourselves to the things that terrify us. So the next time you watch a horror movie, remember, you're not just seeking thrills or adrenaline. You're embarking on a journey of self-discovery, exploring the darkest corners of your mind and learning to control your fears. Horror movies then can be a tool for personal growth, helping us face and conquer our fears. Now that we've unearthed the psychological concepts behind our love for horror, let's put it all together. Diving into the dark depths of horror, we've discovered a fascinating blend of catharsis, adrenaline rush, and the safe exploration of fear. These elements intertwine to create the captivating allure of horror that keeps us coming back for more, despite the chills and screams. Let's revisit catharsis, the emotional release that horror movies provide. They allow us to confront our deepest fears and anxieties in a controlled environment, and then leave them behind in the theater or on our couches. We are able to experience intense emotions, from terror to relief, without any real-world consequences. It's like a roller coaster ride for our emotions, and who doesn't love a thrilling ride? Next, the adrenaline rush. Horror movies are, in essence, a high-stakes chase between predator and prey. The suspense, the uncertainty, the race against time. They all serve to kick our fight or flight response into high gear. Our hearts race, our palms sweat, and we are fully engaged. The adrenaline rush is exhilarating, and it's one of the reasons we are so drawn to horror. Finally, the safe exploration of fear. Horror movies offer us a unique opportunity to explore our fears in a safe and controlled environment. We can confront the unknown, the supernatural, the grotesque, and the horrifying, all from the safety of our own homes. It's a chance to understand our fears and ourselves better without any real danger. Together, these elements create the intricate tapestry that is the allure of horror. They allow us to experience fear in a controlled way, to understand our own reactions to it, and to leave the theater or turn off the TV feeling exhilarated, relieved, and perhaps a little more self-aware. So next time you're watching a horror movie, remember, it's not just about being scared, it's about understanding our fears and ourselves a little better.